Digital is us evolving the existing technology that we've always had since we first started out at Key IVR. It moves away from the traditional Moto transaction, but only for those customers that you feel it's necessary. So for example, if you've had a client who's previously charged back on a payment, or you want to reduce the number of transactions that go through a Moto channel, maybe your acquirer is pushing for that, or even you want to set a cap on the amount that somebody can transact in a Moto way, we can build in an Ecom solution into our Moto platforms. So during that journey, whether that's driven via thresholds, API integrations, or predetermined reference sets, we can actually send them a click to pay link through the IVR solution, and then they can either continue the call after they've made the payment online, or they can complete it online and switch to a completely digital channel, and they could take that transaction through an Ecom gateway, through Apple and Google Pay, or even through open banking. The challenges that we see today in our current client base and new prospective clients that are coming forward is that they have got different types of clientele. Particularly for the debt collection industry, they could have two different types of payments typically. You would have a PCN charge, and then you would have an age debt or a case debt or something like that. The age debts, they've got higher transaction value, so you want to mitigate the risk, and by doing what we've put in place, you can do that. So you can reduce the risk of a chargeback by adding that Ecom layer, and you get to control how the customer pays. You've also then got the fact that you can control it via an API integration too. So when we do that API lookup through the automated payment line, you can say yes or no to a Moto payment, and that means that we've got the ability to decide mid-call whether we're going to send this customer down an Ecom route. The reason behind that is because you often see in certain sectors that the higher the transaction value, the more likely they actually are to charge that fee back, and also dependent on the sector that you work in. By adding the Ecom layer, you take back that control. So 3DS2 allows for you to secure that payment and reduce your risk of chargebacks. It adds in things like two-factor authentication. You may pay using your thumbprint, or a text message to your phone, or a notification in your banking app, and that just reduces that risk of chargebacks. Moto payments cannot have that, so we've merged those two products together by including the Ecom solution into our Moto payment lines. So Agent Digital is another really good adaptation of a Moto product. So you've got your contact center system, which is agent assisted payments, and traditionally that's always been done through the customer giving their card details through DTMF, which goes through the agent assisted platform and then to the gateway, which of course is a Moto transaction. During the agent journey, the agent can actually select to send them a payment link in real time, and that update from the payment link comes into the agent portal so they can see what's happening during that call. The agent can make their own executive decision if they want to send it via an Ecom link if they feel it's a high risk transaction, or again it can be dictated via a reference lookup via API or SFTP integration. So either you as the business can decide which customers can pay through Moto and which should be sent through the Ecom channel, or you can give your agents that freedom depending on how they feel the call is going. So by adding in this extra layer of Ecom, you're also going to reduce the number of people that struggle to give their card data via DTMF, and you're giving them an extra way to pay, which is always important. We have to expand our payment options to keep the clients happy and to make sure that the journeys are friction-free. Of course as well, by taking customers through an Ecom route, you are allowing for the reduction of fraud, which is fraudulent chargebacks. There is a place for chargebacks in the market, there is legitimate chargebacks when card details are stolen, but what we see from our clients is chargebacks are made illegitimately. So the markets that are seeing the most value, or certainly our existing client base that are upgrading their solutions all the time to allow for this, is definitely the debt collection industry, the energy space, utilities, those sorts of organisations where they know they have to pay that bill, but also they have the ability to charge it back. We actually see forums on social media as well where clients are learning, or customers rather, are learning that you can charge back to this organisation, and then that sees a peak in chargebacks for that particular client. So we're then reaching out to our clients to ensure that they're aware of the latest technology that we have available, and that not all Moto transactions have to be at risk of chargeback. Our Ecom IVR solution and our Ecom agent journey allows for you to offer as many different payment journeys as possible to your customer. They may prefer to call and speak to somebody, but then they also may prefer to use Apple and Google Pay. With our agent Ecom solution, they can now do that. You've also got the consideration that they may be navigating to get to you through an auto attendant, end up on our payment IVR, but they were hoping to pay via open banking. Again, they can pick themselves through the payment journey, whether they want to pay online or through a Moto transaction. That decision doesn't always have to be led by you as the client, it can be led by the customer so that they can be sure that the payment journey they're taking fits best for them. It's super easy to implement this into your solution. Key IVR will support throughout, as we do with all of our projects. You'll have a project manager assigned. They will amend the specification document that we have on file for your product if you're an existing client. For new clients, we'll simply build it into the spec and the onboarding process that we go through. The only thing that you may need to consider is if you only take Moto payments today, you will need to contact your gateway or Key IVR to get an Ecom MID so that the transactions can be processed through that way. So moving forward, we definitely see this becoming more of the norm. We think that new clients during onboarding will just want this added into their IVR from day one, and that might not be to reduce the risk of chargebacks, it might just be to ensure that payments are accessible to all clients. Ecom has other benefits as well. There's different apps that people have in their phone to be able to navigate through and allow them to make a payment in the way that works best for them. However, we do need to do more to fight against chargebacks, which is why we're also contacting all of our existing client base to give them the option to upgrade to this solution so that they're armed and ready whilst we work on how to ensure that Moto does remain secure moving forward.